Thank you, Eddie. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon from Mexico. As everyone already know, my name is Teresa Escorza, and I am a mother of Tere and Paola. One of my child is an adolescent with a cochlear implant. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you so much for Sue, for us to me to come today. This chat, this webinar, it's meant a lot to me and to the families in my country, because today here is a mother, but he's a mother who is the professional to be invited to be a voice for so many children in my country, girls, boys, children, and adolescents with hearing loss, because you value our daily life experience, that I can be so important like every medical, scientific, or commercial professional in the hearing field. So that's why it's so important to me. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, Teresa. Go ahead.
Well, we are a country that adopt health policy through a government insure, call it Seguro Popular, that insure guarantee through a protocol and in the certificate hospitals a limit number of cochlear implant for a children under 5 years age. These children born with a profound bilateral hearing loss, and the families who can be in this protocol did not have work social security number to be part of this protocol. So it's so weird. If you have work, you can go through to this protocol, and if you don't have this number, you can go for the cochlear implant. So it's so difficult here for that part. The families of deaf children between the 3 or 5 years make a protocol, and this protocol we have evaluation. We have a requirement, hearing aids, therapies, and most of the time we need to don't have therapy with the specialized people. And the audiologists, when my daughter, like 10 years ago, they are just learning to calibrate. So we are so new. The face, the next slide, please. Here is a few faces, the faces of Mexican children and boys, girls, with all of these with a cochlear implants. Probably the very few people had the access to the research to implant their children. So most of the children we have now, it's like a little child, like 5 years, and the, I don't know, 13 or 17 years. So we have a very young population with the cochlear implants. The next slide, please. The faces, bueno, you see the faces. I love that picture. I love the faces. Today, our challenge and my agony of this mother is about these rights of our children, and at the present are not guaranteed for a new babies. And worse, the continuity of the universal rights to the hearing health is not being guaranteed for our children. Because children like my daughter, she has 13 years old, don't have access to update for the equipment, for the cochlear implant. The parents who go to the cochlear implant with not job security number are the most now spend the few pesos they have to guarantee the life and hearing health of their children is about our hands. So it's so difficult right now. So sorry, I'm so nervous. I'm still so nervous, but I'm going.
It's okay. It's okay. You're a parent. Yes.
And also there are states in my country that not have rehab and therapy. And the common things that we don't have support, we don't have training, and those who manage effectively with the cochlear implant, there are those can pay for these therapies or for cochlear implant or for good calibration and good education. And most of them are going to into other countries. So providing our children with the hearing IDs or cochlear implant or also vibratory implant will guarantee hearing health in Mexico. The right, it's not a privilege of a few like is right now. It must be an informed life decision of families and obligate our country to make this happen. However, our children are invisible. Their needs, their family, all the interesting are invisible. But the parents who are support all the economic steps for the professionals involved in the hearing health. So we are the last step, and we support all the economic structure around the cochlear implant. So many times the parents in Mexico are left without dreams, without morals, without knowledge, without broken pockets, without rehab, and in sometimes with broken implants. So this is the story of my life, of my daughter, who don't have screening, who was implanted around 3 years. And I was faced to the reality, medical, and experience with the professionals and government health system new for the cochlear implant. So my daughter Paola obtained a hearing, optimal hearing. Oh, sorry, the slide. So sorry. Thank you so much. This is a graphic. We can go to the next. Thank you.
Next slide.
This is a slide. This is a slide. It's just an image to share with all the places that we are in Mexico. So if you born in Mexico, like I don't know, 1,000 personas. ¿Cómo se dice 1,000 personas? 1,000 of people. Only the 40% have the screening and the baby. So that's it. That's the reality in an image for the condition of my parents. So the next slide, please. This is my life. This is the life of many parents. My daughter don't have a screening, and she started to hear at 7.5 years old. And now she only use one cochlear implant. She have two, so we already right now we don't have the money for to repair the second one. So that's the reality that all of my people in France have in Mexico. In addition of this, in Mexico we must face a rules system with a few articles that guarantee the rights of the cochlear implant users, and the society doesn't know them. Those don't know anything about the hearing loss. We have a society, we are not want to call them a deaf person because they can hear, but my daughter, it's not magical with the cochlear implant. It's gonna be stop to being deaf. So it's hard. My daughter was born deaf. She will still live deaf and died deaf. I will never be a hearing, and she never will be a hearing like me. So here is the future for my child and all these faces. I love these faces. I'm gonna cry with these faces. So to guarantee the hearing health implant, and it's gonna be affecting their quality of life in the future, the education, the adaptation of the specific brain needs in the schools, the work life, and all the reasonable adjustment to facts and rights to my daughter I required in Mexico. So I am here to tell you my story and asking you, all of you help with this child, because they now here, but maybe they not here tomorrow. So again, this is my story, and that's born Escorza, and desperate need for a mother who needs to change the life condition today for have a different future for her daughters. We are the parents who come together to contain us, to train us, to guide us, to use our professional in our favor. So today I am here to raise my voice for me, for my daughters, for all my families. Now, ask to help international. And perhaps if we are so many, we can go make a lot of work. We can change the future of these child. So like example, in Mexico in this year, we have a National Hearing Health Week, and all that took places in this country, work with the parents. Now the parents who are professionals, they came to teach to us, to all the people, what is live with a cochlear implant. So that's about you.
Thank you so much.
I just want to give you the good news. This is bad news, but I have one good news.
Okay.
For December, Teresa Escorza y Ricardo Cortés Alcalá from the Security of Health together, society and government, we deliver one of our goals, and we bring the hearing screening to the National Health Card. So the slide, in the back, please.